My name is Jason. I'm with Realty One Group Complete. I've got a team over there. I was in the Air Force for 7 years, got out in 2002. I was a loadmaster on the C-5 airplane.
How has your military experience influenced your approach to real estate and client relationships?
Remember that everybody has a unique experience that they're trying to achieve, or a goal at the end of it. If we're relating it back to military, kind of like our first night in basic training, 50 plus scared boys in the middle of the night, it's dark, but we all had that same goal to graduate. With our buyers and sellers, kind of the same thing. Often they're in the dark as well, but our goal is to help them achieve their goal. Of course, not yelling and screaming at them like the asshole instructors that we had, screaming at us in the middle of the night. We'll still yell. Remember that everybody has that goal in mind and serve them through the process. Kind of looking back at the checklist that we had to follow, no matter how many times went through, open the front of the airplane so we can load everything, getting ready for in-flight. You follow a checklist. It doesn't matter if it's the first time you ever did it or the 20,000th time, you still follow that checklist. And so we have to do the same thing, when we're writing offers, when we're doing those things, and starting from the beginning, slowing it down, not trying to just do it on the fly because you'll miss something, or I'll miss something. I've experienced that recently. I'll have to approve an offer that comes through. I'm like, okay, yeah, good. You get in contact, and they're like, well, how come you didn't see that? Well, I was on the fly, right? I didn't slow it down, sit down in front of the computer and actually go through line by line, because we're humans and we'll probably overlook it. For me, I try and just remember it's real estate, right? Like it's a process. It's gonna be the biggest thing for our client at that time, but it's not life or death. I mean, unless you're on my team not making your phone calls, then it might be that. But really, it's just a matter of, this is a process. This is what we do every day, and just being consistent with that. Every single morning, I'm up by 4:30. I'm doing a cold plunge at 38 degrees, and I'm out the door. It's the gym, dressed and ready to go by 7:15 in the morning, so that all the headspace is cleared. I know what challenges are going to be there throughout the day, what things can maybe be put to a different day, and it's just able to prioritize all of that in the morning before most people are out. Doing things within the community, being a part of different boards, and becoming somebody that is known that you were in the military, because then you have that bond, and just getting out there and serving the community more so than leveraging it for my gain. But simply by saying, oh, well, thank you for your service. Most of the time we'll say, oh yeah, no big deal, especially me, being the most civilian in the military.
Were you in it?
Yeah, I mean, I got some fun stories, man. I don't debrief as much as I probably should, but it's more about, I do some reviews at like the end of the month, certainly not on a daily basis, but the end of the month, end of the quarter, and then it's about scheduling everything a week out, a month out, a quarter out, kind of knowing what are those big blocks down the road, and then kind of backing it out from there. There was a time where we had to have our plane off the ground in 90 minutes. Tank running around the outside of the plane, and you didn't have time to worry or wonder if what you were doing was the right steps. It's just a matter of, you get in, you kind of clear the mechanism, and you do what's supposed to be done systematically. And having those systems in place, those checklists and those things to fall back on, right? Whatever that quote is, we fall back on our greatest preparation. And so it's just a matter of having those things planned out before, to the later question, before the shit hits the fan, right? And you need to then be prepared, because by then it's too late.